Imagine attending a dinner party, all for a good cause, being serenaded by a Kiwi music legend, and all from your own home. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. Here to tell us more is Kiwi singer-songwriter Neil Finn and So They Can founder and CEO Cassandra Treadwell. Good morning, guys.
Hi, how are you, Ryan?
I'm good. Cassandra, you're in Wanaka, so you are going to have a great day no matter what, because you don't have to worry about lockdown. But I was just thinking, Neil,
Yes,
you're in lockdown too, but you're one of the best musicians in the country, so you can entertain yourself no end, I imagine.
I can. Well, I'm in my writing room here, and this is where I can become a hermit. And I was kind of hermity before lockdown anyway, so I feel pretty fortunate. I have an activity, a creative endeavour that I can delve into, in some ways even with less distractions. So I know there's a lot of people having a really hard time out there, so I'm a little bit cautious about praising any kind of lockdown.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, Cassandra, I want to talk to you about what you've been busy with. Tell us about So They Can and this virtual dinner.
Great. So They Can, it's an NGO, a charity that was started 12 years ago, and we support 45,000 children in their communities through 42 schools, a teachers' college, women's and girls' empowerment programs in Kenya and Tanzania. And we were just very conscious that we've lost a lot of our ability to fundraise through events that we used to hold. And so we decided to do, as many are, the virtual event, but we wanted it to be a little bit different. So we've brought on board Neil, who's been our long-term amazing ambassador, who used to play at our physical events, and he's now going to play at a dinner party, a global dinner party. People can join all around the world. They can link in for free. And then they will have a renowned Sydney chef, Luke Mangan from Glass Brasserie, his kitchen there. He will be doing a cooking course for half an hour. He helps you cook your meal. And his sous chef is our other ambassador, TV presenter and news producer, anchorman Peter Overton over in Australia. And then Neil comes and plays while you eat your dinner. So
Brilliant.
we'd just like as many people as possible to join in.
So this is a really fun night, a really fun event, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home, and it's free as well as the other thing. But there are obviously ways that people can help out and donate. Neil, have you done a few performances now from your living room, and what's it like?
I've done many performances from this very room, which is where I will be set up. I might put a little bit of a flash outfit on for the occasion. I kind of always suspected that I'd end up playing dinner music in a fancy restaurant. So this is really the ultimate dream. And I actually am really looking forward to it. There's the extra dimension of having Luke Mangan provide fantastic food options for people to tune in on. And I mean, just the fact that we're helping to raise money to keep this incredible, thing that Cass, out of pure will and force of nature, began as a backpacker in Africa many, many years ago, and has now grown to an organisation that has helped and given resources to maybe 45,000 kids. Amazing kids. I've seen videos of them, and so the work has to go on. It's easy to forget the people in those areas and the work that's already been built when we're focused rightly on what's going on in New Zealand with the pandemic. But imagine not having educational options at all. Well, these kids are relying on food and the goodwill of all of us to be resourced in order to keep that going.
Absolutely. Cassandra, tell us how, even if they're not going to attend or can't watch the virtual event, how people can help and donate.
Yeah, that would be great. So we're focusing on food, obviously, given the concept of a global dinner party. And the reality for our children over in Africa is many of them will walk up to sort of 7 kilometres a day. And these are primary school children, these wee poppets. And they will walk to school with no food at all. So when they arrive at school, the children, I've seen them, they pass out from exhaustion and malnutrition. So the schools that don't have a lunch feeding program, they have a very low attendance rate as well. Probably around 42% of those children actually attend school, whereas our schools where we do have a lunch program, there's a 98% attendance rate. Wow. Purely because their parents are encouraged to send them to school for the meal that they get when they get there. Obviously, they can also focus on their learning when they have lunch there. So people can just go online, sottheycan.org, go to the global dinner, and they can donate things like feed a child lunch for a year for just $30. That's all it costs. A child will get lunch every school day for a year for $30. Or you can provide $110, which will plant a garden for the whole school, maize, beans, corn, everything that we need to actually produce and grow and provide food for that child, or for the whole school of 800 children, that is. $110, 800 children you'll feed for a year, up to a water bore, which is essential for our schools, for $20,000, and they can just donate directly online if they're not able to come to the dinner.
Brilliant, and that's true, so they can. It's amazing work that you're doing. Neil, I want to ask you about Crowded House, because you guys are back together. You've got the sons on board. When are you going to be touring again, realistically, do you think?
We have plans for early next year. Well, we haven't announced them yet in Australia, and we've got a UK tour and the Europe tour that's been booked for the last 2 years in a row. It's actually a sold-out tour that's been shifted by a year. Twice now, so we're really confident that we'll get there this year, next northern summer, and then the US, and then we hope to get back to New Zealand some point next year as well.
Yeah, that's like I was going to say, you're not going to perform in New Zealand realistically this year, this summer.
I wouldn't rule it out. It just depends on circumstances, but around the time we're all gathered together in Australia, you never know, We'd love to. We had a fantastic tour earlier this year in March. God, it feels like last year now. And we were so blessed. We felt so lucky.
I love, Neil, that you still love to perform and you still love to make music. Are you going to be releasing anything that you've written in this COVID period? Have you been inspired? What can we expect?
Well, I've got 10 records lined up now. I've got so much material. I've been holed away. Actually, it's been a very prolific period, and the only thing that's difficult at the moment is what to write songs about. It's very hard to summarise the feelings that you have in a lockdown scenario, in a pandemic. But I think they're getting quite abstract, my lyrics. But the music's I'm really excited about the music I'm making here. So there'll be something new next year, I'm sure.
Cassandra, obviously the current situation has meant you can't have traditional sort of fundraising events that people understand. But in a way, you can now reach more people because you've come up with this global scenario, can't you?
Yeah, well, that's the hope, actually. We had something we launched, just trying to be creative, in March, One Human Race, we called it, where we challenged everyone globally again to move 85 kilometres during the month of March for the 85% of our girls that suffer female genital cutting and get sold before they're 13 years old into child marriage. And we raised about $125,000 from that, with people just signing up and swimming, biking, running, whatever they wanted to do over the month of March. So we're doing that annually and hope that will just increase every year, as well as this global dinner. We will look to, this is our inaugural one, but we're looking to do that annually. And obviously we set it up as if we're all worst case scenario locked in, so we can just have our own bubbles and people can virtually Zoom into other bubbles. But given where we're at the moment, some people will have, I'm lucky in Wanaka, I'll have sort of 50 people or so around, whereas other people might just have their own bubble or invite another few friends around for dinner. So hopefully it hits every scenario. That's the plan.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you all the best of luck. And that is Saturday, the 20th of November, for those who are wanting to get on board. Thank you so much for joining us this morning to explain Kiwi singer-songwriter Neil Finn and So They Can founder and CEO Cassandra Treadwell with us this morning from Wanaka. And if you'd like to head along, all from the comfort of your own home, you can register for free for the event so that they can get involved. You go to sottheycan.org and follow the links from there.